The year is 1799 and the French, the Habsburgs and the Russians battle for Italy in today's NTW3 historical battle. Today at the Battle of Novi, we have three great powers of Europe clashing as they battle for a hilltop here at Novi. And yes, with a glorious 4v4 historical battle here, as the saying, with two Habsburg armies and two Russian armies, and they're facing off against four French armies in today's battle. This battle was fought between, as I say, the Russians, the Habsburgs, and the French, the Poles and the Italians also there for the French. I think there are some potential Polish units and amongst the French armies. We don't have any Italians, I don't think, in these armies. I might be wrong. There might be some, but this is a battle led by the great Suvorov on the coalition side against Moreau and Jobert for the French. We don't have a Jobert corps, but we do have Sansaire, who is or Sancaire, I think that's how you say his name, Sancaire. And then we also have Moreau as well. So we do have like two of the commanders at least that are here, like in person. There was also a Grouchy, but it's not. I don't think it's the Grouchy that fucks up at Waterloo. But yes, facing off against the French there, I think we have two Suvorov corps and we have two Melas corps. So both, well, that's I think both are like valued at the same. So we have like team-wise. So we have two 11s, that's and then two 8s as well. So that's 37 points if I'm correct. I think of like my terrible maths. But yeah, this was a battle that we did on the stream a little while ago. We don't often do sort of well, we'll call it 1700, but like late 18th century battles. We kind of focus more on the Napoleonic ones, but we're doing a sort of a revolutionary battle still. So this is what you still kind of count as the, yeah, it's the second coalition, but it's still technically like revolutionary wars. France has yet to actually become an empire. It's still a republic. And yeah, Napoleon is elsewhere in Egypt at the time. So other commanders have been left in charge of leading the army of Italy now at this point. This battle was a defensive battle for the French. They kind of were on the back foot a little bit by this point. Both sides had around about 40 to 50,000 troops, more like 40,000 for the French, 50,000 for the coalition, as they sort of like dripped in as well, because it's kind of like the HRE started their attack early in the day, I think around like really early, like something like 3 o'clock in the morning, with their vanguard clashing with skirmishers of the French. It was kind of like what's about to happen here, actually, a little bit. And then the Russians arrived slightly later in the morning to actually continue the fight. So initially, yeah, the French fought the HRE, and then the Russians joined in on the fight. But yeah, there's a battle. Novi's kind of sort of nestled in amongst a load of like hilly terrain. So we are here on Mont Tabor, which is the map that I felt like, you know, kind of looks a little bit Italian. And also kind of represents it a little bit. So we do have the LOC. The objective here today is two different objectives. So we have this one here, Nazareth, which is an LOC here. That's one of them that they've got to hold. It's 2 point there. And then the other one that they have to take is this one over here, the coalition, if they want to win. Otherwise, the French win if they hold both of these LOCs at the end. So yeah, it certainly will be an interesting one, that is for sure. I'm looking forward to seeing how this one goes down. If you guys want to see more NTW3 action, then do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and a comment to show your support. It really does help out the channel. It looks like we're about to be getting into the fight now, as you can see some skirmishes coming forward here for the HRE. Looking glorious, these guys are. Don't know why, but I feel like in this loose formation and with the helmets, they're giving very World War I Germany vibes a little bit, these skirmishes. But yeah, these skirms here, these Schutzen, are going to start dueling with the trilliers of the French in a moment, I'd imagine. Both sides start to try and, you know, whittle each other down. Whoever wins the skirmish fight can then go on and sort of like, you know, chip away at infantry and cavalry formations of the enemy. France has, surprisingly as well, has like some big like skirmish units. It's like 60-man units. One's over here is 79 for Moreau, which is incredible. Like the size of that is massive, absolutely huge. Yes, it seems like the French are arriving. So yeah, I mean, we had to do this one a second time, so we already kind of had a plan of what was going to happen. And like where the coalition might attack. So this was like a second rerun of it on the stream because it crashed quite early on straight away. So this is a rerun and we were like, well, if they do the same thing again, we know where they're going to go. But that is not the case. This is all fresh. They do not make the same strategy a second go. I mean, they kind of have to a certain extent in the sense of what LOCs they have to attack. But over here on this side, the coalition just have to kind of break through. To be honest, the Russians are already appearing in their long lines, and they've got the Pavlovsk Grenadiers here ready to go. Those iconic hats. They're going to be a real pain to deal with. It's got lots of Russian musketeers here as well, getting ready. Yeah, these guys are pretty damn glorious, I'll admit. And there's Cossacks over here just being a general nuisance, as well as the artilleers waiting in the forest as well, ready to try and pick off any sort of cavalry that charge them. And again, more Russians now appearing here. I don't know what do we have here? It looks like we have Jaeger. They have funny looking hats. They have a bit like hats that look a bit like the Swiss guardsmen, to be honest, or musketeers. I wonder if there's any more Pavlovsk Grenadiers. So I'm sure there will be. This is the Suvorov Corps. They bring plenty of Pavlovsk Grenadiers. They might just not be able to be seen. They might be kept well in reserve. Artillery here for the Russians as well. Whether the French want to maybe give it a go with the Hussars here, maybe make a go for the artillery. I mean, also these trilliers should really push forward and try and harass the artillery. It's always a good way to try and deal with them. Yeah, there's Cossacks waiting. And also, oh wow, a lot of cav waiting by this gun to Chevalier here. Yeah, this is a good concentration of cavalry for the French to certainly be focusing down. Looks like Chasseurs Cheval here, and also Hussars are getting ready to maybe go for a dash for the guns. Cav is waiting, and also I think these musketeers here are ready to support with a volley if needed. Looks like a lot more aggression going on this side here for the coalition, who have to be the aggressors in this one. France can sit back if they want to. Russia being a little bit aggressive here, building being captured. So that's the outer LOC now being held. Don't know what's gone in there. Sappers, good choice of unit to go in there. It's technically a grenadier unit, and also it's a small unit. So they can fit the full complement in there of all 77 men. Very, very good choice. They've got, yep, French skirmishers firing the first shots of today's battle. They are shooting down into those Cossacks there, trying to just be a pain for them. But yeah, if you want to send in any of your own replays or want to get involved in any sort of NTW3 battles or scenarios or streams, then feel free to join my Discord. The link is down below in the description. As always, it's the best place to go if you ever want to get involved in any sort of NTW3 shenanigans and be maybe featured on the channel. We have got a howitzer here that's now appeared for the Russians. That's going to be a real pain for the French forces. The Russians might just themselves now try and sit back. And it looks like they brought a lot of mass artillery here, more artillery for the Russians now appearing. That's already starting to. It looks like shell at the French over here by the forest, so hopefully that gives them a bit of protection. But yeah, the howitzer shells already being loosed off overhead. Yeah, it looks like they're just hitting trilliers, which at the end of the day is not a bad thing for the French. On the first clash over there already taking place. The French looks like they made a dash for the guns. Chasseurs failed. But it looks like, and actually the artillery still got their carriages, and the Cossacks, yeah, done a really, really good job of scaring them off. I think these Suvorov Cossacks are better than typical ones. I could be wrong, I could be misquoting someone else I heard there, but I'm pretty sure these Cossacks must be pretty damn decent. I don't think Suvorov's got masses of cav, but I think the Cossacks, you know, are reasonable. That's for sure. France also, with the benefit of terrain on this one, with defensive lines, can put his artillery like right on top of these hills here. You can see these 12-pounders. Sitting right on top of this hill, able to shell down onto the area below. Like, they have great cover of this LOC. These 12-pounders will be a great asset here, just to pound away at the coalition lines. And it's a constant theme along the ridge here. You've got another 4-pounder there, already shelling away. We've got, what have we got here? 8-pounders as well. We've got another 8-pounder there, another 12-pounder there. Looks like more 4-pounders being shifted over. So yeah, the French are putting most of their artillery on that line really up there. We have got some horse artillery, some 4-pounders here in the front line. So it looks like the horse artillery might be being used as more mobile artillery. And there's actually another one here as well, an 8-pounder. Actually, this is not horse though. This is just foot. That's on the front lines though as well. That definitely could have been, if we wanted to, on the top. Could have definitely been able to get in range of just about anything down here. But I guess some like batteries in the front line to support musket fights is always a good idea to have.
Routed, sir.
Men being routed. Who's been routed? Oh, we've got Cossacks over here routing Tirailleurs. They've charged on in. They managed to catch these guys unaware by the looks of it. And they're going to try and run down the Tirailleurs there. In come the Hussars. They should break these Cossacks, I'd imagine. There you go, got rid of the Cossacks. It's not a bad trade for the Russians, but I think the Tirailleurs might return. I think these units are so large that they can actually take the losses and return if they want to. Russia is also now, looks like, advancing through the forest with some musketeers. Whether it's a sizable force, unknown just yet. There is still a lot of Russian activity as well going on around here in the middle, as more Cossacks now have appeared. It looks like they may be dashing to try and get rid of the Tirailleurs. I do not know. Looks like that is potential. The Hussars here, they might want to try and challenge that. Try and get these guys. Good volley there by the artillery. Hitting that Cossack unit, that might help weaken it. And yeah, it looks like the Cossacks are going to go straight on in. They have just bolted across the entirety of that map. Unfortunately, my Hussars charging the back of all of the Tirailleurs there. It looks like they might, I don't know, the Cossacks might lose that fight there as well. Or maybe not. Someone's firing. Actually, I think it is line infantry here being, I think, shot into the back of my router's own Hussars. Either way, that's very unfortunate there for the French. I feel like they should have won that one. That's for sure. Those Cossacks just seem to bolt the entire across the map, didn't get tired, and then still managed to rout a Hussar as well. Tirailleurs there also got routed. I think that might be by cavalry by the looks of the bodies around them. That might just be artillery casualties. Yeah, Tirailleurs here being forced back. Looks like they actually might be being forced back. If it's the same on this side here that's going on, they're being forced back by artillery, which is a good way to counter skirmishers. Actually, you can just focus them with artillery. You'll break them pretty quickly. This artillery really is supposed to be used to, you know, try and rout units, not try and kill them. You just try and, you know, damage morale, break them that way. I'm really still trying to find some Italians or some Poles. Got a grenadier unit here. This will be a good unit to fight in the town. Only 82 man unit, but you know, that's 82 grenadiers you can throw into the fight. More sappers here, more grenadiers being shifted along. And what have we got here? Nothing too crazy just yet. I can't see any Italians though. We have got the line Orientale, which makes it seem like they might have served in Egypt or something. I really don't know. They like to be called the Oriental. You might need to have been serving in Italy. Yeah, it looks like lots of line infantry being shifted in this direction here. As you can see, just shifting down this way to prepare for what looks like going to be a Russian assault through this forest. We'll see whether that's still the case. It does seem like that might be what's about to occur, though. What we've got here, we've got a Dragoon unit just ready and waiting as well. It looks like it's all quiet at the moment in the Battle of Novi. Wait to see who makes the first move. Artillery is pounding away here, and here we go. I think this is going to be taking the first advance. France is needing to shift over more troops over here. They've got big units, the French here, so they could try and like take a line fight. 176, and I feel like France can kind of melee fairly well and also shoot with these like 1799 armies. They could usually do a bit of both. So we'll see whether this is the case here today. Yeah, I would have thought. I mean, look at the size of these like HRE units. They're not big. There's 3 units here. And the French one's pretty big. I mean, what are these here? Chasseurs. They're lights, so these could be, you know, good for a line fight as well. But yeah, they are really pounding these Tirailleurs here, trying to keep their heads down. France seems like they can form square just about as much, I'd imagine, as the HRE, and probably the same amount as the Russians. So it doesn't seem like anyone's got the advantage when it comes to sort of have and sort of squaring in that regard anyway. There you go, first sort of line fight getting underway, and bodies already dropping for the HRE. Cav waiting up here as well. We've got a Chasseur Cheval, whether this has already been in action, or it might just taken a lot of casualties. Yeah, France already kind of giving ground going up this hill with the chasseurs. Whether he's just thinking I'm going to try and fall back to here and then maybe use the hill as his sort of like support line. I don't really know. But by retreating back too much, he is also going to give up this ground here, sort of exactly where the 16th line is right now. It gives up this sort of patch of ground here, allows the coalition to attack the LOC from a different direction, which the LOC hasn't been destroyed, I don't think. Or has it? I think it has, actually. They have destroyed the LOC. Well, by doing that, they immediately allow the... yeah, they allow the French to hold this LOC. Well, that is an odd move. I'm pretty sure they have. I don't think there's... It's a different building. I'm not tripping. Yeah. It is that one. And they just destroyed it. That was really strange by the coalition. I mean, I guess if they just take the other one, we could count as a victory. But really, in like sort of like rules that we play by, if you destroy an LSC and someone's already holding it, then it indefinitely stays with them. So a building is, yeah. I mean, in fairness, if they capture the ground that the LOC is over, I kind of count that as a victory for them. But I did specifically say this was a victory condition. So yeah, it's very odd that they destroyed it outright. I thought they might just reduce it a fair amount. Maybe they accidentally destroyed it. It's quite possible that's the case. Just one rogue cannonball goes past the LOC and hits it. If you get it to like 97%, all it takes is one rogue cannonball to undo your plan and destroy it. I've done it myself before. Oh, there's some Polish infantry. Polish of the Danube. And then we've got... Oh, we don't have another one there at all. I thought we might have more, but just the one Polish line infantry I've managed to find. Really, I feel like France, they've got a lot of these skirmishes quite tight here to their front lines. Maybe we would push them out a little bit more. Maybe go and, well, skirmish. Go and look for where the enemy is. They still can't see really where the HRE is, or the Russians, to that fact. They are really digging in at the French. They've got a solid line here. Really do with sort of probably staggering a little bit more, just so, like, if things break through, if they get broken through, then they can have sort of backup lines. So we are back. I made a little cut just to see whether anything's being speeded up, and it seems like maybe the Austrians, or sorry, the Habsburgs are coming forward. Not just really the Austrians, there's a whole bunch of other guys with them. But yes, the Habsburgs are now moving forward. It looks like again, looks like they're maybe going to try making an assault on this position here. I mean, these three taking out one might be enough to outgun them and force them back with the support of the skirms as well, though the French probably will put up a decent fight. I'm just really surprised they gave up so much ground, and actually that artillery there nearly being hit and taken out, redlining there. If the French could really pound that away, they can maybe, you know, give themselves an advantage in the center here. Looks like the French may be coming forward again with some hussars. Where they'll go for, I don't think they'll go for the skirms because they're well guided by HRE Cav. I think that's what they came forward to have a look for. Looks like some Chevaliers here are ready and waiting, and it looks like actually the HRE might turn their own skirmishes to fire on the hussars. They can't stay here, these hussars. They will get pounded by Russian artillery or just by skirmishes from the HRE. And here comes Russia, line after line of musketeers coming forward now, and you've got HRE like men as well in behind there, supporting it. There you go, the hussars finally give ground after being bombarded enough. The rest of the line, though, very quiet. France really, I think, needs to start thinking about stacking up some troops elsewhere, because it's obviously the attacks coming elsewhere, it seems like. I mean, we've got this 8-point here. I mean, they could probably withdraw forces from here and start sending them down the line to try and help out over there. I mean, also, I mean, this 11-point here can also probably just sort of take over the sort of position of the 8-point and allow the 8-point to just fully move down. I mean, potentially, we'll have to see. There's definitely a HRE, and also looks like Russia's here as well, in this forest as well. So maybe don't want to move everything just yet. It certainly seems like the two French armies over there could be about to collide with the coalition forces, and then the French center looks like it's almost going to just be looking at nothing. I mean, this is an 11-point here. Yeah, it's kind of like he stretched from the LOC all the way out to this left point here. He's all the way down here as well with his line infantry. Yeah, he's stretched over a large area. He probably wants to start thinking about shifting troops more towards the streets over here. Looks like already, yeah, Trillier's been forced back. Line infantry going back as well. So this 8 point is, yeah, just getting absolutely pounded right now and being thrown back. And yeah, again, I mean, it doesn't seem like they've been in much of a line fight yet, the French. Might be about to be in one. I don't know if they've, or maybe they have sort of tested. Yeah, maybe actually. The bodies over here don't look great for the French. Looks like they've already taken a fair few casualties. Whether that's from artillery though, or whether that's from other stuff, they need to be holding fire there. The Trilliers shot as Rene here ran all the way through. And here we go. The line fight is starting to take place now. We've got the 15th line. They're already shooting at the Russians. They definitely will outgun the Russians. I think the Russians are going to rely on melee if they're going to try their luck at trying to take this little town here. There you go, artillery is already pounding the Russians. More volleys gets fired off. Yeah, combat winning slightly. We've got to have Grenadiers here also move forward. The French need to be careful. They don't want to commit those Grenadiers too early. They want to like get the Russians into the town, then commit the Grenadiers, I'd say. Sappers over here taking another Grenadier unit, as we were saying, and the Sapper here as well. There are plenty of their own Grenadiers if they want to use those. Yeah, look at that. I mean, the artillery and the line fight is not doing good stuff for the Russians here, taking a lot of casualties. Orange lining already. And you keep that up. Keep that 12 pound up there, pounding the Russians as they come down. Sappers here. Don't know if they want to be getting to a line fight just yet. Certainly do not want to be that's, yeah, not a good use, I don't think, of this Sapper here. Don't know whether he's planning for a melee. We have got a cavalry battalion here that's also preparing for a charge. Whether they're going to try and throw back the Russians here with cavalry and then also the Sappers, that might be the case. I mean, the first volley there nearly, I think, wiped that Sapper. And they're losing slightly. It's not a unit that's supposed to be shooting. It is just a Grenadier and, you know, put stakes up sort of unit. Artillery here on the flank as well. 8 pounder here, shooting into the sides. Very nice. And here we go. In goes the cavalry battalion. Cavalry has kind of been weakened a little bit in sort of like recent patches, and here we go with the Grenadiers as well, charging in. And yeah, I think some squares have been formed. They might break this unit of Russians here. They're going to get that one. Don't know if these other ones can form square though. More infantry arriving, but nothing that's like particularly melee heavy. Here comes Cav though for the HRE, going against the Sappers. And also sort of side charging the heavy cav here of the French and cavalry battalion. They're winning though, decisively. The French continued their charge with the Grenadiers here. They need more infantry, more mass in here. I'd probably charge with this 51st line, charge into that Russian unit there. I think they missed that opportunity there. They need more infantry here. It's not quite ready. They haven't got enough infantry to sort of back this up. Enough sloggers. The cavalry can only do so much. Going to need the infantry to do as well, to do as much as they can. And Sappers there, I think it's just been absolutely wiped out. Both units here, one down to 6 men, the other one 36 in routing. The Grenadiers also losing momentum, and the cavalry battalion, it looks like it's going to get out of there. Russia taking several losses, losing about 2 or 3 infantry units, but the French lost about 3 to 4. There, yeah, I think there's like 2 Russian infantry gone, HRE Cav. And yeah, France lost heavy cavalry, Grenadiers, and some infantry. Not a great start there for the French, I can't lie. The trade-off was not that great. They definitely just weren't quite prepared, I don't think. They just need a bit more infantry here. As you can see, it's now starting to arrive. And we have more cav shifting this way as well. Sort of, yeah, some chasseurs, cheval, not like heavy stuff that's going to be able to break through necessarily, though. Yeah, Russia sending more infantry forward. The artillery, though, here is going to be a great asset. They need to keep the Russians in front of this gun emplacement as long as possible. They really do. France actually been aggressive over here as well, pushing the HRE sort of back by the looks of it. The chasseurs here, yeah, having a great time, but they're about to be matched up here with more HRE cav. So, oh, sorry, more HRE infantry. So they do need to be ready. Looks like, yeah, lots of skirms. Got cavalry here, yeah, the chasseurs. Don't know whether they're really going to be able to do much. You might need to keep those as a reserve for their own sort of purposes. Yeah, the French are getting absolutely gunned down here. What is good? Look at that. That's a lot of dead Frenchmen there. Russians seem like they are actually, you know, not too bad in a line fight. They can hold their own. France here is getting outgunned at the moment by the Russians. I mean, they've got multiple, yeah, Russian units going up against a single French one at the moment, it seems. France also here needs to think about, I mean, if the Russians keep pushing forward, needs to start thinking about getting some units to sort of just fire into the sides of them. They could also think about maybe tweaking this line themselves, the French, being super aggressive, tweaking their line, and just also threatening the flank of the Russians, maybe forcing them back here. Looks like a Tsar's going to try and maybe break up this Russian sort of advance, and it's not really worked at all. And actually the HRE have responded by routing some tirailleurs themselves. The French here need to get a volley off. There you go, that's a good volley. That'll get rid of that Chevalier easily enough, I would have thought. And yeah, then the chasseurs should be able to go in and route that HRE unit. There you go, they got rid of them. Countercharge into a skirmisher is not going to achieve a lot, and the French in fact just break. And the Russians again in melee with the French. And again, the French losing out in this line fight, in this melee fight here. And the Russians can now side charge here and also shoot in the front. And that is going to be another dead French unit there, I'd imagine, the 80th line. It's going to form squares. It's a handy unit to have. The Hussars here coming forward. They're going to try and again just slow the Russian advance down. We've got a general here, Saint-Cyr. He's already, you know, on the front line. Rallying the boys. Not necessarily working though. And again, French cav routed. Those what I think they are. We do have, yes, some of the Pavlovsk Grenadiers here ready to go. We've got another one back here. They're yet to actually see action, but they are ready and able. They're ready to go. It seems like France has given up the towns. Technically, though the LOC has been destroyed and the French technically hold it, they have taken the ground. They need to hold here to the HRE. They're on sort of schedule. They push to the next one. Take that one. I technically count as a victory for them. Right now, I'd say it's still French win if the battle ends how it does. They have been forced back quite a few areas here. And again, we've got dragoons going in. These guys redlining. I mean, I think it's because of routing troops around them. They're just not going to stand otherwise. Squares being formed here as well by the Russians. So, yeah, that's not so great. I mean, the French should be blasting them when they're in square formation. Absolutely. I think we're going to see, I think we're going to see this dragoon go in potentially. Though it's in not a great mood. It's, red lining, orange lining. There he goes in. Just the amount of routing Frenchmen was not helping that situation. It's still not that great either here. In go the French in melee with their infantry. Cav, trying to support. Looks like the volley there from the Pavlovsk Grenadiers. Just blasted the French Cav. That might route that. Didn't seem to affect the Russians at all. They didn't give a damn that they just got shot in the back. And the Russians now being aggressive on this flank, trying to force the French back so they can't, flank and threaten flank themselves and threaten the Russian advance. Here go the chasseurs, in they go. At this point now, I mean, you can see the indentation on the line is pretty bad. French alarm bells need to be sounded. A lot of these troops here need to get moving and sort of support this line over here, because right now the French are in a bad situation. A lot of troops starting. It looks like maybe re-rallying. No, these are all reserves actually. They're not re-rallied at all. These are just reserves. Some of these guys are going to need to start re-rallying though for the French. They're going to have to get some of them back on the field. See here, Saint-Cyr is also having to retreat. He might have had a bit more success on this right side. Forcing back the HRE, but now that they've been freed up assaulting the town, they can start just pushing on that small force there if they want to. And here we go. It's now a bit of a slugfest now between the two lines as they both just blast each other with muskets. We'll see who can win that fight. Also looks like there's a HRE cav unit maybe massing. If they just smash this tirailleur line here, they could then get in behind French lines that are forming up here. A lot of troops actually for the French. Look like they're actually falling back. The 11-point Moreau here is actually trying to get out of there. He's trying to extract troops. He's not having a lot of joy though, as you can see. Russia again going into melee and again having a lot of joy. France just needs to get out of there. What we're coming across, we've got, looks like Carry Battalier coming across. We've got, looks like from one of the 8 points here. That's a good asset he's throwing across. Got Carabineers as well, looks like moving, but not a lot else. Still a bit of a standoff on this left flank here. Not a lot going on. There is obviously got to be some force ahead of them. They need to really keep scouting out to the French, just seeing what's going on out there. Cannot see enough. I think they did try. Oh, actually, they've got a cav unit in behind here to the French. They have got one cav unit in behind. So, just a unit here. I think it's maybe looking at generals, maybe seeing what is an option. They need to get it close to the Russian line so they can maybe then go and just, you know, gather intel what's ahead of them. Because the French also need to think about retreating here, because if they keep falling back over here, they'll just keep flanking with the coalition and just wrap up as much as they can before they have to assault up those hills, which will be tough. Tough for the Russians, that's for sure. You get here, just blasting the side of the French to try to pull back. Looks like they have given some ground. It doesn't look like they haven't quite fully fallen back up the hill. They've sort of restabilized the line a little bit. A lot of cav forming up here as well for the French. We've got, cavalry battalier. We've got a couple of chasseurs cheval. Heavy cav is going to have to do some absolute work. And it's a combat gen as well, actually. Charles Salinghi de Samano. Sir Germano, sorry, not Sermano. But yes, we'll have to see whether he can do something. Whether Charles can do something, we'll see. A lot of cav as well shifting over here. Looks like for the coalition, we've got a couple of Cossacks. Looks like maybe another dragoon or a chevalier de guerre, or in fact a hussar. The line fight continues. I mean, France combat and losing actually in a line fight, really. I'm surprised. I'm surprised they're being outgunned. I mean, they actually maybe not. They're Jaeger. And I'm surprised they're losing on this side here. They should win that one. It's just against the line infantry. They also need to turn a few more of these units of the French, angle them to get them in a bit more of a line fight. Yeah, not enough going on there. Oh, and also, there you go. Looks like a Trillier being charged. Yeah, it's Cossacks getting rid of the Trilliers. And maybe going in for the next one. We'll see. Some shots off there on the Hussars. And actually, there you go. The tiny little cav unit in the back now gone for the French. That's been removed. Looks like by Cossacks. They just got rid of it. I don't think the French players paying attention. He probably could have won that fight otherwise. Got rid of another annoying Cossack. And then he could have been free in the back, potentially. I mean, there's another cavalry that might have mopped them up. Just seems like there's so much cav here for the coalition. A lot of cav as well for the threat. Well, there's a lot of stuff stacking on top of each other here. This is not good. I think this is all one cav unit, actually, maybe. Still the units arriving, though. We have got, oh no, there's still Moreau. The other 8-point Sansei yet to send any infantry, but he needs to start thinking about it potentially here. Yeah, Russia is now, looks like he's falling back, but in the direction of his allies. A lot of these units here not really firing whether they can get into the line fight. Russia's just really targeting one small spot, weakening it as much as possible. Something's going to have to change. I mean, whether they charge the Jaeger here with the heavies, if they pull back one of these units, just start to then just charge them. I mean, it looks like the heavies as well. They take a lot of casualties unnecessarily here, down to 76 from 94. Yeah, whether they can do something there, I don't know. Far flank over here as well. Looks like France might be, inflicting some decent casualties here, actually. Routing one unit, might get a couple more here. These are tiny little units of HRE. That one forms square. I was going to say that one could not form square, the one that's orange line. That's too tiny for sure. But the cav there break it, and that's not so great. That might upset some of these units around them. But the French actually, I think, are going to win this line fight here. Redlining HRE. Yeah, that actually looks pretty good for the French. This actually might be a victory here. I mean, the general's now on his way. This is looking real good. Whether that'll change, we'll see. We'll come back to that in a moment. The big line fight's still going on. Russia actually going in with line infantry into Trilliers. He's going to win that fight. He's orange lining as he goes in. Doesn't seem like the Trilliers going to fire. They did there. Should rout them. Trilliers, I think, should rout. I don't know. Both sides both red lining. Here goes the cap, though, going into the Trilliers. Whether they're going to react now, the French do something about it. They've got to. There you go. Trilliers removed. The French could countercharge that or just shoot him in the back. Carabiniers going in. Looks like Chasseur Cheval's going to be thrown in. Yeah, here we go. Russia is now shifting from in front of this 8-point here, and he's now attacking over here. So really the French need to get a move on. Move down the line. Carabiniers going in. If we baited them a little more, they would have gone onto the stakes, which actually would have been a good victory for the French there. Carabiniers, I feel like they're the only unit I can think of actually that probably changes what it looks like 3 times. Like they have the current form they're in until like the revolution style in the bearskins, and then they are in their golden armor. And they're out of 2 units there. That's why you bring these guys. These guys are insane. By the time they're in their golden cuirasses, by far away my favorite looking unit for the French cav, I'd say. It's got to be up there. It's got to be up there with one of my favorite looking. 8-point here is moving. He's kind of moving just forwards, though, not really. If he kind of turns right and immediately turns right, he could certainly like fall in on the flank of this Russian army as they are moving forward. You can see this Russian army here is now getting in behind. I don't think this is all the same player. I don't know. But he's now getting in behind here. You can see he's sort of sneaking around the backs of these French units, and this is going to be devastating here for the 11-point. It's not even 11-point. This is 8-point. Alright, so the 8-point hasn't got the guys over here now. He's not falling back, he's just, yeah, he needs to get back. His troops are just breaking easily. The Pavlov's Grenadiers here just, yeah, getting smashed on their way through. The French. Chasseur Cheval might be able to kill off some of the Grenadiers. Or not. There you go, more Russians going in. This 8-point should really have fallen back. Like, once he lost 1 or 2 units, he should have been, like, reading the room, get the rest out of there. They're just going to be charged. And yeah, these chasseurs just do not fight well in the melee. Yeah, these chasseurs are not going to do it. The Russians want to get you in melee. You need to stay out of melee with them as long as possible. There you go. That's another, like, good chunk of French troops that just blitzed. I mean, it's not over the French. They have great terrain. They've also won this flank over here, which is great to see. They forced back the HRE there. But yeah, they can fall back to these sort of choke points, make absolute pain of it for the coalition. They don't want to have to if they, yeah, they don't want to, really, I don't think. It's a bit cheesy. They have to, they have to. Yeah, look at this. Russia is just throwing everything over here. Why is this 8-point needs to react really to it? I mean, he's going to have to fall back. I mean, his flank is going to get turned here. I don't think this 11-point is going to get a lot of this stuff out either, unfortunately. You can give it a go, but I don't think he's going to get much out. A general retreat needs to be called. I think it is now. Yeah, you can see the 11-point actually falling back as we speak. Currently, right now, I could have probably... I was playing this as 11-point. I've just spent the most of the game just staring, looking at the HRE. And the HRE spent the entire game as well on this side, staring, looking at me. Open ground. Possibly could have been aggressive on him. Possibly, yeah, could have been like really pushing hard here in the forest, forced him out. Might have worked, might have not as well. The icy play, I always hate fighting in forests. There you go though. That's Cavalry Battalier. Don't know what happened to that, whether that charged in, whether it just got caught, but that's been routed, that did nothing. And now I think, yeah, the Cavalry Battalier breaking is going to allow these Cossacks to get in behind. This will rout most of these Frenchmen here. And there's a General Moreau here. He's in real danger. I don't know if they can go up that slope there, but if they can, he needs to try and get out of there. That man standing on his horse is an artist. But yeah, there you go. The Cossacks getting into the back, routing that entire French line. That is disastrous for the French. It's just absolute chaos there. We've got a general here trying to get out. I think he's just going to try and sneak through. Yeah, there's so many so many units here for the 11-point just being like taken out, and that's because that Cavalry Battalier didn't win his fight, unfortunately. Yeah, he's now got to get back. Not looking good. The French are gonna have to just retreat, just get out of here. Again, yeah, this 8-point here has not covered himself in glory, I'll say. It's okay. Micro might be can be improved. Yeah, he got caught there as well. His cavalry just stood there waiting. But as you can see, a general retreat has been called. They're now going to have to defend the final two point over here and try and fight for that. And you can see, yeah, just general retreat's been made. The horse artillery getting out of here. I think I was just deciding I was going to leave the Trilliers. I think I'm just going to leave them in the forest, just to sort of like give up the pretense that I'm still here to these coalition forces. I don't know how much is really in here. The Russians are still here with infantry as well, which is actually that's their general here. They have their general staff dismounted there, bizarrely. But yeah, I was really, which I guess was also what threw me off. I could see their general. Their army is just shifted all the way over there without support. And yeah, the two Russian armies are kind of now combining here together with the HRE one, doing a really good job. Have the coalition in this one. They managed to dupe the French, and also seem to, in a lot of ways, just outshot, out-meleeed so far. See what the Russians do next. If they can chase up this hill quickly. I mean, the French, luckily, I think, have some units here ready. The 80th line, one of those units that routed earlier, now returned by the looks of it, and yet a few more over here. They managed to get out, has the 11 point in pretty good condition as well. But he can sort of block this choke point, it seems. The Russians won't be able to use that one easily. They actually look like they're going to try and march their way down, go for the next one, which has already been defended by, yes, the 8 point Sansair here. Get these boys up the hill, get these boys up the hill. It's a heavy cav unit, you want to keep that healthy and in one good condition. I don't know what's happening there, really. But a line has been formed. Again, it's still very, it's turning into a bit of a choke point Rome 2 battle or something like that. I mean, yeah, it's just in a choke point. I mean, I'm not fully sorted it out. There's still definitely a bit of a gap here where the Trilliers could form that, fall back on that. If not, the cav can always cover it with a charge. Yeah, plenty of resistance. I mean, I'm pretty much untouched. My 11 point is pretty much untouched in the sense of my infantry. I've lost a little bit of Trilliers and some of my Carabineers, but I think the Carabineers still stand as an entity. They just lost some riders. But yeah, look at this. Line infantry up here. This is what you call the high ground. Obi-Wan would be proud. They can, yeah, I mean, they're shooting some of their own Frenchmen right now. I mean, they're probably getting just friendly fire. Don't know how much damage they're actually doing to the Jaguar down here. But maybe some. Maybe some. The flank over here seems like this one's going back and forth, back and forth. It's been a really interesting sort of battle to sort of just chip into, see what's going on. But the French, yeah, seem like they're being forced back. I think artillery down here has forced back the French. They've tried to push down, and the HRE artillery here has forced them back up the hill. Looks like they've taken a few more casualties themselves, the French, because they're only down to 3 units here. He had about 4 or 5. Or whether he's been shifting troops. Yeah, actually, I think he's been shifting troops over here. Trying to help out his 11 point friend, who is, yeah, in a bit of trouble. And the gun here is actually, look, the 4-pounder is in a little bit of trouble. It's orange lining. I don't know if they're in canister range yet. I mean, it looks like they're doing some great damage to some infantry units on whatever they're firing. Redlining some HRE there. Looks like, yeah, they're going to get some of these guys out here. One way or another. And they're actually going to try and save the gun. They're going to relimber it now. Oh, it's taking a lot of hits. A lot of hits. Artillery and musket fire there. Yeah, redlining, orange lining it. Looks like Russia now is sort of preparing. And it looks like they're going to go through this choke point here. Maybe it's the wrong time to limber that gun up. A lot of Russians now coming in. Might want to re-limber that up. What's this? Chevalier is going to try and get these. I think it's trying to go for these infantry here. Yeah, it is. I don't know if that's actually a good way to attack retreating units like this, because, yeah, well, I mean, we'll see. Yeah, you hit like 2 or 3 guys. I don't think it'll work. They just pull out the combat. Might get some kills, you never know. It looks like actually some of these guys are going back in. Yeah, and there you go, the HRE player. Actually, yeah, he's trying to pull out the combat actually affects him worse. He was orange lining for a moment there. He's looking like, looks like they didn't take a loss, so they did kill a fair few Frenchmen, say a good 12 or so down there. So maybe it was worth it. It looks like a Cossack here though failed. They tried to go through, and then a square got formed up and blasted them into oblivion. The gun did survive as well, the 4-pounder. Whether it should have stayed there, I don't know. I mean, look at that. Yeah, Sansair needs to get his men back in behind friendly lines. They're just getting blasted by friendlies. And yeah, here we go. This is the new plan. To allow the HRE up, they're going to try and shoot them in the side with the 4-pounders here. And also hold infantry, it seems, on this wing here and just try and shoot into the side of the HRE, potentially. That looks like the plan for these Frenchies. See whether it works. They've got to hold this high ground and try and keep the coalition on the low ground. It's probably their only advantage now. Numbers certainly not. And also, like I said, it seems like they're being out-meleeed and outshot quite a lot at the moment. We'll have a look. We'll see what happens. Looks like France can force back with Trilliers here. I don't think any general died either. I think Moreau got out there okay. Yeah, he has 8 out of his 16 bodyguard left. So yeah, he's holding. Only just. Looks like Jaeger here are getting ready. I mean, they will be just fine to just duel with the French there, I'd have thought. We'll see. They're the best shooters the Russian army have. Maybe that'll be enough. Getting over here, I mean, this Cav's a little bit far forward. I don't know why he's just right at the bottom of the hill. It's just allowing artillery if it wants to just to shoot. I don't even know what that's shooting at. Actually, then at this point, this is not a great angle. They can't see anything. That needs to move itself somewhere else, or just turn and face the other way. But here we go. The advance of the HRE is coming. They actually are just blasting low their own troops. So that is, yeah, that's not so good. Keep that up, HRE. We need more friendly fire. The French need to be weakened. But yeah, look at this. Russia is just moving down the line. I think they know that this weak on this flank here is that Austria does not have enough himself to attack here, and also down the, well, it's not really down the middle, the left of middle. Fire when ready! France is kind of like let them set up without giving a volley at them either. French to fire. I don't know if these guys are... There you go. I was going to say, are they on fire at will? There you go. Good volley. That nearly broke that full unit. Yeah, it did. Look at that. There you go. More of that needed. That's the sort of thing that if you get a good volley like that, you can break something. Maybe you could then try and cav. Chasseur Cheval here could maybe try and, you know, charge down the hill, try and break some of these guys. Don't know how many of the HRE units here can form square. It's always worth a go. Look at that. Yeah, this 12-pounder up here is just in a prime position right now to basically shell anything that comes over like this hill. Like, oh yeah, you can see it's in a prime position because they're trying to hit it still. The coalition. It's got no carriages, nothing. It's just going to be sat there now. Here comes France. Sorry, here comes the Habsburgs. France forms square. In this situation, when like Cav get inside your square, I feel like that should have a bit more effect. I know they probably can't do that, but that's literally the objective. I mean, he's now pulling through. It's this HRE player, so he should rout. But yeah, if Cav gets through your square, like before you form up your square, and Cav's in the middle of your formation, that's literally their objective. That's what they're doing. Square is to prevent them from getting inside your formation and breaking you. But if you form square and there's Cav inside, probably should do some sort of morale effect, give you the chance to break a square. So it does happen. Cav can break a square. I feel like in NTW3 a little bit, especially with the Cav nerf. I feel like breaking a square is almost impossible. You see it happen sometimes. There you go. Cav there finally broken. It kind of did just pull through. Another one looks like it went up over here as well. They also look like they just got gunned down. Seems like, I don't know what the player... I think this player might have desynced. Just looking at the men are like running to get to their position. This player might have desynced, but yeah, it's definitely desync because this Cav's just dashing from way back. But look how far back they have Cav. They had so much cavalry, and the artillery is also running, trying to get to the front line. So yeah, that's a clear sign of a desync. Russia though here, we'll go back to this side. Russia here has with his light cav killed off the artillery, and now the light cav here has to. France maybe counterattack. They've also lost a fair amount of infantry units here on their push. We now have the Pavlovsk grenadiers getting ready. They are going to go in. Actually fighting something in here already. Musketeers for the Russians routed. It looks like the chasseurs survive. Will they charge? I think these guys will fall square, won't they? Yeah. They'll fall square. And they'll blast those chasseurs. Whether the French can countercharge this while they're in square? Unlikely. Those Grens are strong. And yeah, you can see that the Russian reinforcements over here is really assisting this push now for the Habsburgs. It's a Russian and a Habsburg push here, and yeah, the French have to retreat. They've just got nothing left that can hold there. This defense then can't hold on. They just have to stand here to the Russians. Just inflict as much damage as possible because they know reinforcements are on the way. Time is running out. There is only 10 minutes left. Can the HRE and the Russians get to the building? Can they get to the 2 point? Good charge there by the French. Actually did rout the Pavlovsk Grenadiers. Can they get the other one? The French line though is breaking. You can see HRE Cav, I think, has just come up from that far flank over there. They're charging out all these units that are trying to withdraw. They're not going to get out of here in time. And the general here could also be in danger. We're going to see chasseurs dashing over here. Infantry sort of counter push by the French has failed. They've been not able to stall the Russians here. They just need to get back. They need to start thinking about retreating. There's nothing left to fight for here. HRE Cav has been defeated by the French Cav. Now they're going to get out, get back. There's far too much here to try and stop. And this has kind of been the problem with today's game. A lot of sort of, shifting of forces. Really well done by the coalition. The French didn't do a good job of shifting the forces elsewhere and supporting other fronts. Kind of keeping a basic, like over here. I mean, until like the HRE player desynced here now, like the HRE player just kind of contained almost 2 players with a little bit of Russian assistance. The skirms and artillery, but that was it. The Russian player saw the right opportunity to assist his fellow Russian colleague and his Habsburg ally. And it looks like heavy cav here repulsing Chevaliers, or maybe a Dragoon actually by the looks of it. Yeah, this is the desinking Austria. Just charging in, getting himself routed, charging out again. And yeah, looks like the cav here, battling over these guns. There you go. That's the heavy cav doing their job. Looks like all these units have been thrown back. It's providing some kills for me finally. I don't think I've done up much until this point for the HRE actually start being aggressive. And you can see over here this final little pocket of French infantry. I mean, look at the map. See, there's this pocket of French infantry surrounded by coalition forces. Imagine being a Frenchman here. Like, stand men, defend your gun, defend your general, in fact. Jeez, I didn't realize he hadn't got out of here in time. He stood on top of an infantry here. He might just get gunned down by his own men. Rather than being captured by a dirty Russian, he'd rather be shot by a Frenchman. And yeah, there you go. The guns go, and now this infantry should go, and the general should go too. Charges in against the Russian again. What a brave fight. This Sansai on this side did okay, did a better job I feel like than the other one. I'm not hating on the other one, just a push it just made a few mistakes. This one this Sansai here just ended up fighting up against too much. It's just too much for it to face and try and defeat the rough day. Here we go. Looks like, the square here, they just kind of sneak past the square of the HRE cav blast them. No marker for them, but there's a French unit here just squaring. The Russians are not slowing down. It's like I said, they've got through one choke point. They're ready to go into the next here. Although, yeah, he's just trying to shoot his way through these Russians. There you go. That's a general dead there. Sansaye gone. Oh, this French player's fibbing here though. Fibbing here a little bit. Whether he gave an order to shoot that Pavlov grenadier is almost certainly the reason why. There's no point shooting the other one. But yeah, they kind of fibbed there a little bit at the end with the French. But they just have to hold on for another 6 minutes. The building has not even been occupied by the French. They're that secure. Shifting more men over to the other side there, which is what they should do. It's like HRE over here. Yeah, it's sending troops forward. They'll easily be repulsed. They are running as well, so they're tiring themselves out, upsetting their morale. And he looks at, yeah, I mean, this Moreau unit here, even though it filmed its way through, is now, yeah, getting surrounded and killed off. Just got to keep falling back. Fall back on the 2 point. I almost go to the square, this choke point here as well. But, I mean, the HRE player keeps sending up Cav also as well, which is very nice. But it's just providing some kills. They might leave that unit there to die. But the French, yeah, they've got units here. Well, we've got another Grenadier unit. That's going to be handy. We've got, yeah, René Aubry. And, yeah, it looks like also, yeah, more just... chasseurs. You've got some decent shooters. We've still got the Carabineers here as well. Dragoons, chasseurs. So we've got some good units, you know, that can withstand a Russian and a HRE push. I mean, they are also probably running out of steam themselves, these guys. It's also probably been helped for the French that this HRE army over here is kind of getting itself killed. So I can send forces over to help. I'm just sending down the Dragoons here, the Schomburg Dragoons. We're out those boys. I mean, I'm just trying to defend all these guns that are in place up here. I mean, we've got, yeah, a 12 pounder. I think there's also an 8. Yeah, I think there's a couple up here, actually. There you go, the Schomburg Dragoons. Get rid of them. Oh, sorry, get rid of the cavalry. There's also a, is that a square? Doesn't look like it. Might just be a typical infantry unit. But yeah, it could be really aggressive here, could the French, if they wanted to just keep throwing everything in. There's nothing left here now. Get no more. I mean, just get this unit back. Why is this like 100 E still here? Get that guy back. He does not need to stay there. Units use all available ammunition. That's always a good sign. That's a good sign of a good fight. Moreau, yeah, get him back. Get him back behind friendly lines. Yeah, at this point, not a lot left. This HRE army. What's he throwing forward here? Grenadiers. Oh, he's got some Grens though. They'll be a pain because we've got Hungarian ones and also like German ones. So that's good. So Hungarian unit back here with Zali forming square. And they're going to shoot into the side there. You can see of the French. That, yeah, it's a good move actually by AI. Just side shot the French Dragoons. Very good strategy these days. I mean, if this unit keeps shooting, I mean, they just rout their own cav. If they keep shooting the back of their own infantry, they'll also help out the Schomburg Dragoons there. They rout their own Grenadiers by shooting them in the back. And it looks like he's going to get out of there now as the Dragoon commander, Saint-Dizier. Here we go. Yeah, I mean, they've taken their time now, the HRE and the Russians. I think maybe they know they don't have enough time to go over here. It's 3 minutes now. It's going to take something crazy. But the Russians have done some crazy stuff up until this point. They've still got a decent amount of infantry here that's in decent nick. Just power through one point of this French line and then get their way towards the LOC. Anything could happen. Anything could happen. It looks like the Grenadiers held on there. I mean, you can see most of the choke points well defended. I mean, I move over more troops if you can. General's fallen. Oh, he's been shot by artillery. Almost certainly shot by artillery there. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's the AI army, so it's like not the end of the world. We've got no general or not. Don't think they've made some great decisions since becoming AI. I mean, like this one here, they kind of shoot in the backs of their own Grenadiers still. I think that's 1-to-1 generals dead now for both sides. I mean, in history, this battle was a coalition victory. They did get forced back to the French. So we'll see whether they win here. Technically, this will be a win. If they hold on to that LOC. But I mean, at the same time, they've also kind of inflicted a lot of losses of the HRE and the Austrians here. They've done a lot of damage. Looks like, you know... Oh, another general dead? What's happened to him? Oh, he broke, I think... Oh, he's run over stakes, hasn't he? Yeah, he's run over stakes and he's got himself killed. What a silly Billy. Well, that's 2 generals dead, and that one died in a very silly way. That should not have happened, really. That general should not have died, but... Yeah, he has. So that might now affect the Russian morale, and I think that's the army that says... like more of the infantry, like more men left. Here we go. Ingo Carabineers going to get a jump on these Austrian cav here. It's a good jump. Take them out. Prove their worth. Yeah, a really good charge. Orange lining already. The Carabineers winning slightly. Red lining, yeah, that's an easy win there for the Carabineers. Win that flank, and then you can maybe try and roll up some of these Austrians, these Habsburg troops here. There's still a very, healthy Dragoon unit here. And looks like, looks like Cheval, they're going through, and they're going to try and maybe smash through these infantry units here. We'll see, but you can see the Russians, they've hugged this tree line, and they're going to just now appear out of the trees, and they're going to charge into all these infantry here, and then that would be devastating. But we are out of time. They hold to the French. The LSE is still theirs. But now, give them another 5 or so minutes, and the coalition might have quite easily broken through. As you can see, literally the Russians were about to charge. But yes, hopefully I have put up the end results as well for you to have a look at on the screen. This is from my perspective, I believe, playing as one of the Moros. I ended up just playing very passively, and that was probably the downside of our team. I probably should have been, if anything, slightly more aggressive. Should have left the 8-point maybe just to defend that side. But it's hard to say. It could have easily gone the other way. If I left the 8-point, they could have struck against him and then smashed up our side instead. But yeah, it was a fun fight nonetheless. It was nice to use different cores from an earlier period for a change. I kind of call this an inconclusive victory. I feel like, the French hold on to their onto the LOC, but the coalition were definitely winning on this flank here. So I call it inconclusive, like French victory maybe or something like that. But yeah, my kills here, my Dragoons getting 124 kills, actually insane. I don't know if they farmed at the end, I don't really know. I don't think they did. Carabineers getting 90 kills. That was all just against other Cav, I think mostly. I was just fighting Cav against with these guys. They did a really good job. And then, nothing else really getting great kills at all. Nothing else really seeing much in the way of action. This is the thing, like loads of my infantry here, you can see 0, 0, 0, 2, 2, 1, 1, nothing a lot, because they just didn't fight anything. It was a problem on my side, just being inactive. But HRE player didn't move forward, and I wasn't going forward into the open with his superior cav. But there you go, guys. That is the Battle of Novi here today. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, then do remember, leave a like, subscribe if you're around here, and don't forget to join my Discord as well if you want to get involved in any streams for NTW3 or any NTW3 battles, or want to send in your own replays. But until next time, guys, do check out some of the replays appearing on your screen now, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.